You have to allow yourself to feel it. The things people have said about you, the things people have said to you, the traumas you don't talk about, anything you've experienced, you have to allow yourself to feel it. See, some people block these emotions and go on through their life feeling tough, feeling above themselves, not letting themselves feel deeply. And this not only hurts them currently, but it hurts their future and anything they'll ever accomplish in life. Allowing yourself to feel it frees you. Frees you of the burden of the trauma. Frees you of a path of self-destruction. And frees you of the opinions of others. The need for validation. Hi family, welcome back. And I'm here because I want to tell you, if nobody will ever tell you, that you must allow yourself to feel this trauma. Now I'm here to ask you, how are you handling your hurt? This is a safe space. How are you handling how people hurt you? Do you make excuses for them and not show up for yourself? Do you second guess and over explain? Making excuses like, oh, they didn't mean to, or maybe they weren't really thinking about it, or no, that can't be right. Maybe it wasn't directed at me, or maybe I'm too sensitive. No. You have to allow yourself to feel it. How you feel is your truth. Even if you're the most sensitive person in the entire world, how you feel is your truth. And you have to validate it. If somebody calls you the most blatant of names, like a meanie head, and it hits deep inside your heart, you have to allow yourself to feel it. That's just who you are. And you can't run away from who you are. You really can't. If you let the sadness sit inside, it's going to stay inside of there and rot and eat you alive until before you know it, you're the person with depression who had childhood trauma, who decided because of their childhood trauma they couldn't ever do anything with their life. Oh, because this, and this, or my parents did this, and this to me when I was 7. No, I can't look at anybody with a beard because my father had a beard now that I'm 30. Trauma sits if you don't face it. All right, there's kids playing outside. But trauma will get you. It doesn't just go away. You have to heal it. You have to face it. You have to sit with it. You have to understand it. And lastly, you have to heal it. You're paying a price every time you don't let go. And let me give y'all a story time. So I had this friend. God bless her heart. She was a good friend before things changed. But what happened was, in our middle school and our high school years, there were these group of boys. These boys were insecure and they were relentless. And because she was quiet, they targeted her. They would call her names, snicker behind her back, maybe talk about her from what she told me. And I believe her. I do. But because she didn't heal this hurt, a year after our graduation, she would still talk about this one specific boy. I really don't think the boy was that significant, or she was that significant to the boy. I think he just was projecting his own insecurity. But now she somehow bonded with this boy. And by that meaning, if we were at lunch having a casual conversation, she would bring up the boy. And she felt like she was rightfully bringing up the boy, which I am validating, because he hurt her. He hurt her in her teenage years, a vulnerable place of self-image building. He hurt her. But the reason for the story is that she did not forgive him. She never sat with that trauma to understand that he was just another insecure boy. He had his own things going on, and you have your own things going on. I'm sorry. He projected that on you. But you cannot be angry at that boy for the rest of your life. He's insignificant. You understand? And if she sat and she located in herself where that insecurity, how a stranger could pierce her so deeply that years later, she still was angry at him. But I'm saying this to say, hold on, let me lock my door. I heard a noise. I'm saying this to say that at lunches, she would bring up his trauma. She would bring up very sensitive details that I don't even think he would say in a regular conversation. She would say how he was angry all the time. How, I'm not saying names, but his mother was scared of her. I don't even know how she got these details about him. I don't even know. But it would be at random times. I remember it. And she would tell this, and it was like a conversation filler to her. She would tell the same story about everybody we hung out with, about this boy. There was a bunch of people, I would say about 2 to 3 boys who laughed behind her back, called her a name or two. But she had this specific anger against this boy. Because I guess he fit the diagram for how he projected on her and she could project on him. Like he fit the stereotype. So he was perfect. He was perfect for her to let her anger out on. For her to spread this smear campaign. For her to project on. It's like trauma in a family that spreads from one person to one person to one person. And that's why we have to break generational curses, because these things spread like spirits. They spread. And it spread from whoever did it to him to her, and now it's spreading. She hurt me. She did. But I've healed that. I feel that, so it doesn't hurt anymore. Now what I'm saying is, sorry, I got distracted. Something is knocking on my car. But what I'm saying is that parasite squirmed to her, and she always had this story of him. All right, end of story time. Like, she would talk about the boy. She would talk about the boy, random places, random times, and it was weird. And I hope she faces herself on that. And I hope she heals that trauma. Because nobody should have to carry that. It wasn't her fault that happened to her. And she has to validate that. It wasn't her fault. She has to validate that he was insecure. She has to validate that somebody probably did it to him. And it's a parasite that keeps going, But what I'm saying is, if you let these things sit in you, they will eat at you and they will rot inside of you. She could be a sweetheart, but if you say these things out of hurt in conversation, you're smearing yourself. The smear campaign started with yourself. You ruined your own self-image because of hurt. Hurt that didn't start with you. You let these things sit inside of you and they will bubble up And you won't be able to resist. At some point the insecurity is going to build so strong that you're looking at your best friend who's been there for you for years, and now you're jealous of her. And at this point it's so big, and it's ate at you for so long that you're gonna need one hell of a strength to get rid of it at that point. To look at somebody who sits with you and talks with you about all your deep traumas, who navigates things with you, and because you don't do that on your free time, and she does that on her free time, and she handles it better, you're jealous of her. And now you're doing little weird things. You're going behind her back. You're saying these things. You feel like you're less than her. Why? Because you have to sit with yourself. You have to let yourself feel these things. And it's not going to be easy, you know? Some people say really hurtful things. I understand that. Some people do. They do really hurtful things. They hurt you. People are hurtful. And they do these things. But it's your responsibility to get past it. And I'm telling you this now, because if you don't, you're hurting yourself way more than you'll ever know. You let them hurt you once, and you let yourself hurt you again. When it's supposed to be, you let them hurt you once, you forgive yourself, you forgive them, because you know they're not the root. They're not the first person in the world to do it. And then you learn to never let that person hurt you again in that type of way. And then you move on and you become a stronger, different person. That's how you level up. Pain allows you to level up. Hurt makes you see the weak points in yourself that you can grow today. Right now. You can grow it today, right now. Say, I'm not going to let them talk to me like that anymore. And change. I'm not going to let them treat me like that anymore. And change. Promise yourself. Because that's the only person you owe it to. Family, you have got to let yourself feel it.